people around the world dying for their faith. While we're talking here, there are people being tortured for their faith now. Right now, all around the world. But Americans act like, well, we're past that. We can just have a nice time and we go to church on Sunday. You're not living out your faith. You have to live out your faith in every sphere. And if we would do that, folks, it would change the world. It would change the world. And you know, in a way, Jack, I mean, the reason I wrote the book Letter to the American Church is because I kind of got this idea that we have drifted over time. You understand, this happens to the church, okay? It happened to the church. Martin Luther comes along and he's like, whoa, look how we have drifted. We need a course correction. This is big. We've drifted into heresy. We need to go back, and we need to. This happens in the history of the church, and it happened in the German church. I just want to be real clear. That's what happened. They got this idea of grace that was so focused on grace, they actually thought like, well, we don't need to do anything. And when evil was rising, they did nothing. And because they did nothing, evil triumphed in a way that is grotesque even to think about. The satanic evil that happened as a result of the silence of the German church. Right now, I really believe the same thing has happened where we're so focused on faith and theology and we go to Bible studies, we're not living out our faith. And the Lord is calling his church now, using what happened to the German church as an example to say, American church, now you have to wake up. Now you must live out your faith. And I will let things get ugly to help you understand that this is where things go when the church is silent, when the church says, we just want to preach our little gospel. We don't want to bother with all that stuff. We don't want to be divisive. We just want to preach our gospel. And the idea that you have to choose between preaching the gospel and living out your faith in all these things, that's kind of like, you know, when people say like, well, you can't love your country. You're a citizen of the kingdom. It's like, oh, I can't be both? I can't walk and chew gum at the same time? My faith in God, it's just what Teddy Roosevelt just said, my faith in God causes me to love America. Not to make an idol of America. God forbid you make an idol of America, but not to love your country. That's like somebody saying like, you love Jesus? Well, you better hate your wife. You better hate your kids, right? Because you can't, it's like, wait, my love of God calls me to love my family more. I love my wife more because of my love of God. But we're being given this satanic deception. Oh, you got to choose. If you love America, you don't love God. That's a lie, folks. Yeah. That is a satanic lie. Patriotism, genuine patriotism, okay? I look at Bonhoeffer. Bonhoeffer loved Germany. That's why he did what he did. Because he loved God's idea of Germany. And it caused him to be active and to be vocal. He didn't say, who cares about Germany? He says, because I care about Germany, I'm going to speak up. It's the role, he said the church is the conscience of the state. It is our job as the church to be the conscience of the state and to bring biblical values to the state in which we live, to the nation in which we live. So these are all false choices that are satanic choices. The enemy trying to confuse you, right? Oh, you can't love America. You can't say God bless America because you're king. It's all about the kingdom. It's like saying, don't love your family. You got to just love Jesus. Like, you know that's dumb. It's not biblical.